Session of Indian Parliament will resume today with both the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha set to meet. According to the list of business, the Lok Sabha will reconvene at 11 a.m. IST to take up key legislative matters, including the presentation and discussion of multiple reports from standing committees. Union Education Minister Dharmendra Pradhan will move a motion for the election of 2 members to the Court of University of Delhi. The session will also take up the discussion and voting on the demands for grants under the Ministry of Railways for 2025-26. The second part of the budget session of Parliament will continue till April 4th. Well, the budget session of the Indian Parliament will resume today with both the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha set to meet. According to the list of business, the Lok Sabha will reconvene at 11 a.m. IST and it is supposed to take up key legislative matters today, including the presentation and discussion of multiple reports from the standing committees. Also, most importantly, Union Education Minister Dharmendra Pradhan will move a motion for the election of 2 members to the Court of the University of Delhi. And for more, we have Anil Thomas joining us in Parliament. Well, Anil, the second leg of the budget session begins today. What are the key priorities for both the houses during this period?
Well, good morning, Lipakshi. Well, very much on expected lines. There's been a long weekend break, especially for the festivities of the color of the Festival of Colors, Holi. And, you know, Parliament, the second half of it resumes after a 4-day break. But having said that, this particular session that begins today, there is going to be the JPC, especially on the One Nation, One Election, that's going to take place. There's a sitting of that. That's not all. Related to Ministry of Railways and also with other ministries, especially when it comes to the budget allocation for Manipur. All these issues will be up for discussion. So it's going to be an interesting day in Parliament. You will see a lot of back and forth by the Treasury benches as well as the opposition, because this is where, you know, we are actually now into the business gear of, you know, the budget session of Parliament. I think there is a lot of deliberations, a lot of discussions that will take place, and it's going to be interesting to watch on what exactly, you know, does the Treasury benches do so that business can be convened and more transactions, especially with deliberations and discussions, can move forward. And, you know, the opposition will also up the ante on various issues that they have been demanding discussion over the week. Can they bring it to the table? Will the chair keep attention to that? Will time be allotted to that? We'll have to wait and watch.
Right, as you mentioned, Anil, with several issues now expected to be raised also by the opposition in the Parliament, what all can be expected out there?
Well, the opposition has been time and again demanding discussions on 2 issues. Firstly, when it comes to the epic issues, the voter ID cards, I think 8 political parties have put together a representation asking for the Speaker to allot some time for discussions. I think that's going to be once again the opposition's biggest push, along with that delimitation that's been where the southern states have all almost zeroed in on, you know, somewhere asking the Treasury benches for some answers. I think these could be the 2 issues that the opposition will be bringing to the table. I think the Treasury benches are well prepared for both the issues. They have said that they will look into the matter, but they have not given any assurances when it comes to time limits being given to them. And I think that's something that is going to be interesting in this particular week of Parliament. Remember, there are 5 days in this particular week where Parliament takes place, and, you know, the Treasury benches will be looking for maximum business, especially with deliberations and discussions to be conducted in this particular session. So it's going to be interesting to watch from the perspective of, you know, especially the fence sitters on how they look at Parliament and which side do they bend. I think that's something that's worth an interest. Also, the discussions that take place on the budget allocation. You know, this is the budget session of Parliament, so there are still discussions on that. Also, another important issue that comes to the table is the discussion on the Ministry of Railways, you know, where various MPs cutting across party lines have stood up and, put their demands. We'll have to wait and watch when the Union Railways Minister Ashwini Vaishnav stands up to reply. What could be his assurance that he gives to all the demands that have been put? Remember, most of these demands that come, especially from MPs, are for extending either trains that stop at a particular point, extending it further, or trains that go through their constituencies, asking for a stoppage for the trains on the particular stations for more and more people. But it's going to be interesting, the Ministry of Railways discussion that's on in Parliament. That could be interesting to watch for the simple reason, when it comes to people's benefit, I think that's what democracy is all about. People's needs, people's want. MPs know their responsibility well. They know the importance of the people who have elected them. And the role that the MPs have to perform, especially in Parliament. I think the MPs will have their task cut out, especially when it comes to that discussion on the Ministry of Railways that will be up later today.
Right, Anil. Thank you so much for all those details.